Hey everyone, I'm Tyler Johnson. Today I'm going to talk a little bit to you about why we chose the Ram Promaster as our choice of van. So I'm going to kind of list the reasons why, the specific reasons why we chose the Promaster, try to keep this video as short as possible. Number one was the motor. We chose the 3.6 liter motor, the Pinstar motor, specifically because it is used in over 10 different vehicles inside the US. Now, what this means is even though that they're differently tuned and sometimes will not exactly work, the motors themselves are easy to find and they're easy to rebuild because of the experience that people have on them. So, arguably, yes, a diesel motor in a lot of cases will get, higher mileage, but I'm a firm believer that if you take care of your motors, in the long run, you should be okay. And if a major occurrence happens, it won't be as significant of a hit financially for us if the motor was to total. I myself wanted to work on a gas motor because I'm not familiar with diesels and I like to do all my car work myself. So this was another big pro for me when it comes to having a gas motor. Again, that was another reason why we went with the V6 gas motor. Had plenty of power. The gas mileage is anywhere from 16 to 19 miles per gallon. Some people also like to say that, with a diesel you also get better gas mileage. So I'm going to try to pull up a chart over here and kind of show the breakdown of calculation. But since diesel is more expensive, by the time that you divide out how many cents per mile that you're actually getting, it comes up roughly the same. The second point that I would really like to talk about is the width of the van. Now, most other vehicles with Nissan, the Ford, and the Mercedes all have a significantly skinnier cargo load area compared to the Ram Promaster. The Ram Promaster, from side panel to side panel, is 75.6 inches. Now, most of your other versions are going to be 5 to 6 inches skinnier than this. When me and Paige went out and looked at these, we felt that they were too narrow. By the time you add insulation and your wall paneling, and I just don't like that, it makes me feel claustrophobic. I really want that wide area, so that way it feels like you have plenty of room to move in. Another big one for us with the van was the Ram Promaster also has almost 90-degree walls, which makes them a little bit easier to work with when it comes to mounting and getting the most space that you can out of them. The third thing that I would like to bring up is front-wheel drive. Being a front-wheel drive vehicle over the rear-wheel drive can arguably give you better traction in bad road conditions. For this reason, I like it. It wasn't a major choice on my list, but it's definitely one of the pros. Another pro that we found is the length of the actual van. So being a 159-inch wheelbase and the extended version, not only does it not stick out too much, but 159-inch wheelbase is very similar to driving an extended cab truck. So we wanted to be able to roughly fit in a parking space and the handling to feel similar to just driving a full-size SUV or truck. So Ram didn't start making the Promaster till 2014. Now, it's 2019 from the making of this video, and they've been out for a few years and in the making. Within the first 2 or 3 years that they were making the Promaster, there was a lot of problems that they had to work through. Now that it is 2019 that we're looking to buy a van, I decided that a 2017-2018 model has given enough time to work out the kinks in the van and can be a significantly more reliable vehicle. So the reason why we went with the 3500 extended is because we wanted that extra 14 inches or so to give us any wiggle room that we may have with our build process. We didn't feel like it extended the van out to the point of making it feel weird while driving or making us feel any more uncomfortable than the 2500 size did. And just having that little extra room, we feel like we would appreciate that in the long run. One of the reasons we didn't consider a Ford is because of the length of the van and the ergonomics. The reason why we rolled a Sprinter out is because of how expensive they are. Even though you can roughly get a model 2 to 3 years older than our Ram Promaster for around the same price, the diesel motor in itself we didn't want. So I decided to stick with a gas motor and something that was very popular, and that's why we rolled out the Sprinter. So another big question that we get asked is, why did we choose a cargo van over some of your other cheaper options like the Ecoline or maybe a short bus in itself? So if we start off with the Ecoline, the reason why we didn't want to go with an Ecoline is because we didn't feel like it quite fit our needs and the ergonomics. Plus, this is something that we plan on living in full time as we're traveling and we're doing our work. So as far as the short bus goes, we're definitely trying to maintain a certain level of stealthiness and we didn't feel like a short bus would quite fit our needs in that department. They definitely draw more attention, even though you get more space in the width, and I feel like it would be nicer to live in. It was just something we had to rule out entirely. So that's it for this video. I'm hoping I'm keeping it kind of short, but I definitely wanted to touch base on why we chose the Ram Promaster as we start releasing more videos of our van build and stuff like that. If you have any questions on the specs of the Ram Promaster and personal questions on our experience with it so far, I've been currently driving it to work as a daily just so I can get the feel of the van and to see how it handles. If you would like to keep up with our van build and continue to see some of our adventures, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you have any questions, again, feel free to contact me. You can comment on here. Any more information, questions, I will get to it as soon as possible. I am more than happy to help you with any questions you may have. So again, I hope everyone is having a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.